Hello Shannon, my name is Pat Stino and I'm one of the construction managers for Epic, and we are outside your home today. Today is Thursday, June 25th, and we're going to be doing a pre-drywall virtual video today. We're going to go through your house. We're going to do this one a little bit different just because of the circumstances, and I'll explain in a minute. But we're going to walk through, we're going to look at all of everything that we've got done in your home. I am in the process of rough inspections, and I should be finishing up those today, and we'll be moving to insulation. We did get all of the changes made in your house that you've requested electrically, except the two ceiling pre-wires in the bedroom 5, I believe, and we'll look at that when we get up there later. Those two, I'll get those two moved to your marked and desired locations tomorrow, Friday. But then we'll be going to insulation, and next week before the holiday or by the holiday, I'm hoping to be stocking drywall. So watch this video and then get with Kyle with any issues you may have or any questions at all. Contact Kyle and he'll get with me. I know he's going to be leaving town. I'm going to be out of town for the 4th of July weekend, and I think Kyle is as well. So, but feel free to come by this weekend, take a look at things. If you see anything, just contact sales and they will pass them along to me, and I will address things, whatever I need to. There is something else that's not done today yet, but that'll be happening this afternoon or tomorrow morning, and then that option are the barn door pre-frames, and I'll point those out as we go. We'll get that backing in either late this afternoon or tomorrow morning. But here we are out in front of your home, and you know, you have purchased and are purchasing, I should say, a what I call a 4095 plan, a Summit, Colorado rustic elevation. We're going to talk about many things. We have this little drywall checklist, pre-drywall checklist that I go through, and we're going to be talking about the grading and drainage, the gutters and downspouts, the elevation, the window grids, the electrical locations, the low volt security, the plumbing, the mechanical, and then projected schedule. So we're going to be walking around the outside of the house first, and I'll be pointing out a few things, telling you about what's happening and when, and then we'll be moving to the inside. So with that said, with the Colorado rustic elevation, everything that you see that does not have siding on it gets masonry application. So everywhere that's still green board gets stone on your home. You have no stucco, but everything that's still green sheathing will get stone. And we are, after my inspection process this week, and finishing that up, then we will finish the siding, all of the under soffits. See, the inspection team and city needs to see all the wiring and everything above that we would conceal. And then after we pass those inspections, we'll be putting all that soffit material on, and then the masonry lath work will begin. And we're about a week to 10 days away from the masonry process to begin. But as we walk around, I'm going to be looking at all your electrical options, but the first thing I want to show you is a copy of your plot plan. And this shows your house, which I believe you have a copy of this, Shannon, but if you don't, just contact Kyle and he can email one to you. This is very helpful for landscape planning. You know, we landscape the front yard, but what this plot plan shows you is the footprint or the outline of your home. And then it has all these arrows and elevations and dimensions, but this tells us how we're going to be grading your lot. The arrows show us what direction and at what slope of grade we will be grading your lot to. It is not graded yet. After the masonry application is when we do that grading. But it shows your percentage on the driveway, 4% slope, and then the 9%, which is already poured. 2-car garage. One of the little symbols inside the home, there's a key at the bottom that shows you what those symbols mean, but that tells you how many steps are into and out of your home. So for example, at the front entry we have 3 steps up and then 1 step up into the home, and you see here we have 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 step up into the home. In the garage, you see that there are 3 steps going up into the garage as well. And so that's what that little symbol means, is that gives you how many steps there are. The back deck going down to grade, there's 17 steps going off your back deck down to grade. So this plot plan we adhere to pretty stringently. We've got very important setback requirements, and those are distances from property lines to maintain. We have to maintain the percentage of slope and the grading, and what that does is keep all water away from your home so that we can offer and maintain your 10-year structural warranty. That's one of the requirements of the 10-year structural warranty, is that we do not introduce any water around the home and we keep positive drainage away from the home. Can that vary slightly? Yes, it can, but just slightly. This will be certified at the end after we get everything graded, right before we go to landscaping. The civil engineering firm comes out and certifies that everything meets all of the setback requirements, front, sides, and back. Also that the grading meets their certification as well. So that's a copy of your plot plan, and if you don't have one, just get a hold of Kyle and he can email one over to you. One of the things I'm going to be referring to in your house today is your electrical mini, where you showed all of your electrical options. We're going to talk about standards as well, how our standard switching works and where the standard lights are, and everything is very logical as we move through the house. You'll see as we enter a space, there's a switch to turn a light on ahead of yourself. As we exit that space, you can turn it off behind yourself. Also in all of the rooms, we have what's called a half hot outlet. That means that half of the outlet is switched and half is continually hot. And we put those in every room. So we'll be looking at those as well. So first we're gonna walk around the outside. On the outside of your home, you have requested one switched holiday circuit electrically. Oh, I'm sorry, I failed to mention, we're gonna do this a little bit differently today, and that is due to the fact that you have so much low volt pre-wiring done in the house that we're gonna do the low volt separately. Normally we would walk through, we would look at each room, and we'd talk about the electrical, and then we'd point out the low volt. Well, because in your house you have requested so much low voltage, we're gonna do a separate walk at the end, about a 10-minute video at the end, walking through every room, could be 15. Walking through every room and looking at all of the low volt pre-wire. I know you've got a lot, and I don't want to miss anything or spend too much time with me fumbling between paperwork. So we're going to look at electrical first and standard features first. So one of the features, well, first of all, as we back up, I have an associate here, Craig, if we can back up and look at your window grid, on the Colorado Rustic elevation, the window grid pattern that is on the Colorado Rustic is what we call a 1V2H, one vertical and two horizontal bars. And your front facade has those all those grids in it. Different elevations have different grid patterns, but on the Colorado Rustic, it's 1V2H, and you will see that in every window on the front elevation. On this side, Eve, of the two-car garage, you requested a switched holiday light circuit, and that's what that outlet there is. The switch is at the front entry, and I'll show you that when we get inside. So as we move around, this would be the west side of the home. You can see everything I mentioned that's green still gets masonry. This will all get stone. We do have low volt pre-wire up there. I believe those are cameras, but we'll look at those a little later. We got your gas meter location. As we walk down the side, this is where the air conditioning units will be sit. We also have the intake and exhaust vents for the water heaters and for the furnace. That's what the white pipes are. The fat wire is for the condensing units for the air conditioning. So this is where all air conditioning units sit. As we move around on the back corner, as you look up on the siding, you can see that we have done what's called our rough gutters. This is the location of a downspout. After the masonry's on, that'll come down the face of the masonry all the way down to grade. Moving around the back, we've got a hose bib location at the back corner. Also, the white pipe there is the sump pump discharge pipe. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move inside. We've got fans, intake and exhaust here. Those are the hoods there below the great room windows. Another low volt pre-wire we'll speak of a little bit later. This is the back stairs coming off of the deck. And the final grade, once we get this graded, it'll come up to the concrete pad here, and this will slope out as the plot plan shows. So as we move on to the back patio on the lower level, look at your electrical drawing here. We have a hot tub pre-wire, which I failed to mention, which is also on the wrong corner. I apologize. I have a hot tub pre-wire at this outside corner of the patio. That's that high voltage wire there. That's the hot tub. We've got a standard 110 outlet, coach light on the wall. Then here you've requested a switched waterproof outlet in the ceiling. Another low volt we'll talk about when we walk again with the low volt. So this is the back patio lower level. We've got a switched waterproof outlet, standard features, and then the hot tub pre-wire. So now we'll move around to the north side. We're gonna come off the stairs. So as we move up the north side, you see here we've got the electrical meter panel and disconnect located here. You have opted for an interior load center, which we'll look at inside. But this is where the meter panel, this is the meter panel where the electric meter sits. Also inside there are breakers, and what generally goes in the meter panel is what I call the heavies. Maybe the 220 circuits for the hot tub, 220 circuits for the air conditioners. That's what's in this panel. All of the 110 circuits are run in the interior load center. This is the low volt, underground low volt pre-wire, and by low volt I mean when you are ready to move in and you order your internet service or phone, this is where Comcast, Xfinity, there will be a demarc or a termination box here, and that's what this is, underground pre-wire from the pedestals in the back. This is low volt. This is all of our low volt feeders from inside the house panel come out here. So when they set their demarc, their service comes in and yours would connect with it. We move up to the north side. See, as I mentioned, this will all cover with stone. Got a couple penetrations here. This pipe here is for the landscape irrigation. Right here is where the vacuum breaker will be, the backflow preventer, and the irrigation sprinkler clock will be in the ground here. And the irrigation box is set up to service the front yard, plus it's expandable to fit for the backyard as well. Front hose bib location, and we have another sump pump discharge. We have 2 sump pumps in your house. Every walkout basement has 2, one in the upper level and one in the lower level. We'll look at that in a little bit. As we move around, I can see we've got more exterior pre-wire here, probably for a camera. Downspout location. No other electrical options on the outside. We're going to move into the single stall garage. We're going to take a look at what's going on in here. Now electrically, you've requested an outlet at 72 inches. And that's this outlet here, this optional outlet. This is our standard outlet, and this is where your sprinkler clock will be mounted for irrigation. It looks like you've got some low volt here. We'll talk about when we get to low volt. We also have a dedicated circuit. And that outlet is right here. This is your dedicated circuit you've requested. Service outlets on the other side. I apologize. It's on the other side. The dedicated is on the house side. That's our standard service, standard, and here's your dedicated outlet. Sorry, I was pointing at the wrong wall. It's a flipped plan. So inside, up high, we've got ceiling lights. We also have some low volt pre-wire IC. We also have garage door opener outlet and low volt wiring for the garage door opener for the sensors at the door. We'll talk about the switching at the owner's entry for the lights when we get inside. You see the low volt coming down. We'll look at that with the low volt map. On the front porch, we have no additional. We've got a recessed ceiling can in the cover, and we also have a service outlet, a waterproof outlet on the wall. In the 2-stall garage, as we mentioned outside, we've got the Holiday Eve outlet. Inside here, we have a 240 volt, 50 amp car charger outlet. This is our standard service outlet. Another standard service outlet here. Plus you've requested an additional 110 outlet at 72 inches. Looks like we got low volt pre-wire next to it as well. On the far side of the garage, again, service outlet on both walls. We have ceiling lights, 2 ceiling lights back here. We've got garage door opener outlet, pre-wire low volt, plus you've got speakers in here, which we'll look at with the low volt map. So that takes care of the garage. At the, what's called the owner's entry, we've got 2 switches, plus probably keypad for security, I'm guessing. We'll look at that momentarily. But we got 2 switches here. One is for the lights out inside. Those are for the lights inside. And then we have a switch to turn on lights ahead of yourself inside. So as we move in, we've got a 3-way to the coach lights, which are out on front of the garage, and a 3-way for the hall lights in the owner's entry. Now in the owner's entry, you have requested in the coat closet an additional outlet at 40 inches. That's this outlet here. I read in your options that you are going to be putting a bench and cubbies here, so those are located on this wall. Standard service outlet in the inside niche here. We also have optionally 2 ceiling light pre-wires here, and those are located over this niche. That's these 2 boxes here. And those are switched from this location. So we have the 3-way, and then we have the single for the lights. As we continue on in the owner's entry, we've got the powder room. Standard powder room features 2 switches inside, one for the light above the sink and one for the fan. Got a power outlet next to the sink. So we have stool and lav in the powder room. As we leave the owner's entry, there are switches right here to the right-hand side, and that is to turn off what I call the traveling lights, or the recess cans in your walkway. So we're going to turn off the travelers. Turn the travelers on when you enter, turn them off when you leave. The other switch here is for the travelers ahead of yourself, and those are the recess cans right up in the ceiling in this inside the owner's entry and moving toward the foyer. So these are the travelers, and so those lights are on. We're going to come back to the kitchen and grand room area. We'll move through the entryway. Here you can turn off lights behind yourself on 3-way, and then lights ahead of yourself. The chandelier light is on a 3-way, so your center chandelier. Now we have relocated from the initial location of the 3 ceiling light pre-wires for your hanging chandelier. We did locate the boxes in the ceiling per your blue X's. We did relocate those already this week. And we set laser light on those X's, shot up, and placed those boxes right where you requested. So here we are at the front entry, and I know that you have this wall as a feature wall. And this is going to be a little tricky to do, to be smooth inside of all the boxes and then textured around, but we'll figure those logistics out. But this wall, I've got no additional electric on it. I do have service outlets down low, and I did measure to make sure that those were not going to interfere with anything that we've got going on in this wall. Switch banks next to the front door. We've got 3 switches and then a separate box of 2. And what we have here is we've got the 3-way for the coach lights outside. We've got the ceiling light on the front porch, and we've got the chandelier. The 2 separate switches are for the holiday circuit outside and for the traveling cans moving ahead, or that's on a 3-way switch from the other owner's entry at the single stall garage. So 3 switches here for exterior and for chandelier interior. We'll talk about the other side of that in a moment. So we've got 2 switches. We're going to turn on travelers ahead of ourselves, recess cans, smoke detector over our heads. We've got a single switch in this hallway, so when you do enter, you can turn those travelers on ahead of yourself and again off behind as you move through the foyer. In the garage, it looks like we have security keypad and the garage, interior garage lights. Now, in this secondary bedroom, off of the secondary owner's entry, we've got double doors here. We've got 3 switches inside of this bedroom. One is for the optional ceiling cans. We've got a ceiling light pre-wire in the center, and then we have a half-hot outlet across the room. So we've got 4 optional cans switched together. We've got a ceiling light pre-wire and the half-hot switched outlet down low across the room. We've got low volt that we'll talk about when we get back to it. This is set up for double doors to this bedroom. And then we'll move to the back area. So we've got a light switch inside of this area to turn lights on ahead of yourself. Enter into the bathroom area. There are 3 switches inside. One is for the light over the vanity. The other is for the light over the tub shower, where you selected also a poured shower pan, and then a switch for the fan in the bathroom. No additional electric in the bathroom. Excuse me, I misspoke. One switch is for the CLPs, not over the vanity, next to the vanity. You requested 2 ceiling light pre-wires here. That's these 2 wires on either side of the mirror. As we move into the bedroom, we've got switches. We've got 4 switches on the right-hand side. One is for ceiling fan pre-wire in the center. One is for the 2 ceiling light pre-wires against this wall, here and here. The other is for the half-switched outlet. Half-switched outlet, ceiling light pre-wire, ceiling fan pre-wire. Also, you requested an outlet at 66, plus it looks like we have a low volt pre-wire here as well. Lights to turn, switch to turn off behind yourself. That's the 4th switch. Lights off, lights on, half-switched outlet, ceiling fan pre-wire. Walk-in closet, there's a single switch inside with a recessed can above. We'll move back out to the foyer. Turn the lights off behind yourself, lights on ahead of yourself, lights on ahead of yourself, and we're back to the foyer area. Here again, you can turn off the center chandelier behind yourself and the traveling cans ahead. You could turn off those travelers behind yourself at this location very logically. And then we have the kitchen lights, and those are on a 3-way, and the dining fixture as well. So here we are in the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you requested 2 pendants, ceiling light pre-wires, and those are, we take the center of the island, and we divide the island in thirds, and that's how those are located. We also have, this is the dining fixture. We also have an additional CLP for your request, switched from this side. Both of them switched together, I apologize. Both of them switched together from this location here. I've got 3 and 3. And we've got exterior lights. We've got a waterproof outlet in the ceiling of the deck. We've got recessed cans in the deck. We've got a ceiling fan pre-wire in the deck. That's the top. The top switch bank is for outside. The lower switch bank is for the inside. So you can see on this location, this is where the switched outlet is. And you can see there's camera pre-wire there as well. We've got 2 speakers. We've got ceiling fan pre-wire, 4 recessed cans. We've also requested an additional 110 outlet at 66 inches, and then we got pre-wire. See how nicely my low volt person did this? We'll be replacing this piece of siding. So So in the kitchen, we've got pendant lights and ceiling can lights, which are on a three-way from the other side. As we move around the kitchen, all of these white whips sticking out of the wall are for under cab lights. We've got horizontal outlets at 38 inches above the floor, 38 and a half. But all these whips are for under cab lights. We've got our cooktop center, hood power for the exhaust hood, power, under cab lights, power around here. This is oven cabinet, wine cooler in the center of the freezer and the refrigerator, and pantry cabinets here. In this location, you've requested an outlet at 44 inches inside that cabinet, and that's what that outlet there is. You've also requested two 4-inch mini cans, one above each window. These are on separate switch. And those are switched over here at the patio door for your request. Center of the island, we have got dishwasher, kitchen sink in the island, power around the island, service outlets around the island. No additional electric than what I've mentioned, the 4 mini cans, the 2 ceiling light pre-wires switched together, the outlet in the cabinets. The other are standard options. And then moving into the great room area, you can see around the great room there are standard service outlets around. I've got a 4 bank of switches here. One is to turn on 8 recessed cans in the ceiling. The other is for the ceiling fan pre-wire. The other switch, next switch, is for the 2 4-inch mini cans on either side of the fireplace. And then we have a half-hot outlet across the room. Above the fireplace, outlet or TV or whatever you choose to put up here. You'll also have low volt. Inside the right-hand side niche is the switch for the fireplace, on and off for the fireplace. So in the grand room, we've got 8 recessed cans, 2 4-inch minis on either side of the fireplace, and power at 75 inches. Those are the options in this room. Ceiling fan pre-wire standard. You can also see rear speakers pre-wired in the back. We'll talk about that on the low volt trip. So as you leave the grand room area, you can turn lights off behind yourself, back on. We're going to travel upstairs. Lights off behind yourself, you turn it on the chandelier, and that's on a 4-way switch really, from the entry, from the foyer, and from the upstairs. So we're going to travel up the stairs. You requested stair lights, and the stair light package is 4. It's evenly spaced, same height above the stairs, one on each island, one in the center rung. We come up to the top of the stairs, we got 3 switches up here. One is to turn off the step lights behind yourself, the other is to turn off the chandelier behind yourself, the other is to turn on the traveling cans ahead. Into the mini loft area, these are switched right here. That is on a 3-way switch as well. We're going to move over to the secondary side. We'll talk about that bank there. So we've got the loft area. No additional electrical requests in this area. But as we enter the secondary bedroom area, you can turn off the traveling lights behind yourself, turn on lights ahead in the hallway. As we enter into, this is the linen closet in the hallway. This is turn off the lights. If you're using this bedroom, come inside, there are 2 switches. One is for ceiling fan pre-wire, and the other is for the half-hot outlet across the room. Excuse me, you've requested an outlet at 66 inches off the floor on this wall. enter into the Jack and Jill bathroom. Three-way switches on either side of the door. We've got 2 lights above the lavs. That's what this three-way operates. Outlets on either sink, next to either sink. Move into the tub shower area. 2 switches in there, one for the light over the shower, and the other is for the fan. We are in bedroom 3. As you come in, bedroom 3, there's ceiling fan pre-wire in the ceiling center, and we have a half switched outlet as well. You've also requested an outlet at 66 with low volt pre-wire, walk-in closet with a light and switch inside the closet. Back in the hallway at the bedrooms, as you can turn lights on and off. This is the upstairs mechanical room. This is the air handler for the upstairs. The air handler for the main floor and the basement is in the basement. We have no additional lighting or circuitry in the hallway. Turn off lights behind yourself, switches to turn on ahead. We've got 3 switches here. One is for the traveling lights behind yourself. We've got the ceiling fan pre-wire in the bedroom and a half hot outlet across the room. Now this also, your blue X is on the floor, where you would like these ceiling light pre-wires relocated from where we have them. We'll be moving those on Friday morning. I have the electrician coming and we're going to be moving those, and we'll space them exactly evenly, 1 foot off the wall as you requested, and so that they'll look symmetrical. So we'll be relocating those 2 ceiling light pre-wires. Outlet at 66 again, low volt pre-wire next to it. Walk-in closet, standard light and switch. Separate bathroom, 2 switches inside. One is for the lights above the lav, the other is for the fan. Light above the lav and the shower, and the other is for the fan. I'll come back down the hallway, working our way toward the master suite. Turning lights off behind ourselves, lights on ahead of ourselves. Entering the master suite area. This is off, this is on the travelers. On the hallway, got the laundry room off to the right. Inside the laundry room, 2 switches, one for the ceiling cans. And you requested 4 ceiling cans in here, and there is. This also is the location of our attic access, and there is a light and a power outlet in the attic. That outlet is for service or whatever else you'd like to use it for. We have fan and 4 recessed cans. Washer left, dryer right. Move around, you got a laundry sink. All outlets are above countertop height in the laundry room. And this pipe sticking through the floor is a drain pipe for the laundry pan. We do install a laundry catch pan, and that pipe goes all the way to the basement floor drain. Power for the washer, 220 power for the dryer. And now we'll move out of the laundry into the master suite. Got a light switch to turn off behind ourselves, and then our travelers ahead. We move into the master bedroom. Lots of switches in the master bedroom, because you've got some options here. We've got the recessed mini cans. You've got 4-inch mini cans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the same switch. All those mini cans, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all on the same switch. Above the bed, we have the switch for the 2 CLPs and outlets. On the side of the bed, looks like we got phone pre-wire as well on this wall. So we've got the 4-inch cans on a 3-way switch, and we also have ceiling fan pre-wire. I can see the speaker pre-wires in the coffered ceiling. This single box up in the coffer, that's a smoke detector, required location for the smoke detector. No additional outlets in the master suite, but an additional outlet at 75 inches above the fireplace. And that's this outlet here, pre-wire. In the master bedroom fireplace, the switch is always on the sidewall. Master outdoor room, we've got switches here for the outside recessed cans, the 3-way on the minis, plus you've got a switched outlet in the ceiling, and that is up here at this location. You've got recessed cans, you've got speaker pre-wires, you've got ceiling fan pre-wire, and an outlet at 66. I also have a standard service outlet underneath the window. We make our way out of the master bedroom into the master bathroom. And as you enter, we've got lots of switches here. I've got 5 switches side by side here. We've got shower cans. We've got our traveling cans or our center cans. We have cans over the freestanding tub. We also have heated floor switch. That's the metal box for heated floor. Master stool room, 2 switches inside. Pretty standard, a light and a fan. We've got vanity with light above the vanity, power outlet next to it. We've also asked for an outlet at 48 inches next to the window. That's that option. Freestanding tub, one on the other side next to the window at 48 inches. We've got low volt pre-wire here in this wall, which we'll look at with the low volt mini. Light above the vanity, standard outlet. So in the shower, you have opted for 2 rain heads. You get 3 recessed cans, 2 rain heads spaced evenly with 2 diverters and 2 handhelds. Those are located at each seat. So everything is plumbed according to the options. Now there's a couple of ads that you asked for over last weekend, which I'm in the master closet right now. I come in, I turn on, I've got 2 switches in here. One is for the recessed, optional 2 recessed cans. Now there's 4. You've also requested additional outlets in here, and we did add them this week. So we've got outlet 1, outlet 2, outlet 3, and on the backside outlet 4. So we've added 3 outlets in here, and I'll show you we added one in the linen closet in the hallway per your request. Pretty straightforward in the master bathroom. We did request a ceiling light pre-wire as well, and that is that box there. So all these switches on this side operate all those lights. We separated the fan from all of the lighting, so you're not accidentally turning on and off the fan when you're looking for lights. As we move around to exit the master, this is that outlet in the linen closet that you requested as well. Moving back to the master or to the main foyer area, we're going to pause here and then we're going to go down to the basement, and then we'll have a little chat, and then we'll pick up on the low volt side. Shannon, I mentioned at the beginning that we still have a couple of details to do. One of them is the 2 barn door pre-frames, one upstairs at the master. This is the other one at the foyer. This will have the barn door backing all installed tomorrow. I just wanted to let you know that I am aware we are moving. So now we're going to move to the basement. At the head of the stairs, we got 2 switches here. One is for recessed cans above each landing. The other is for your optional step lights. Again, a package of 4 step lights, 1 at each landing, and 2 centered on the stair run. As we come down the stairs, we've got lights on the stairs, lights on above us. And as you get to the bottom of the stairs, there's 4 switches here. One is to turn off the stair lights. One is to turn off the lights on the landings. The other is to turn on lights ahead of yourself. You've also, the 4th switch is for a 4-inch mini can that you've requested right here in this area, centered in this niche. As we move down the hall, we've got a little closet here. Inside there is a switch and a light. That light will be an LED light mounted on the wall inside the closet. Switches off to the right, 2 of them. One is to turn off the lights behind yourself. The other is to turn on the travelers ahead of yourself when you come into the rec room. So as we get into the recreation room, we have got recessed cans in this area. We've got 3 switches on the side here. Recessed cans. We've got a low wall. You've requested that your countertop comes straight through and you'll have a sitting area here. So it's a lower wall than standard. Normally they're 42. This one's down at cabinet heights. The countertop will come straight through. We also have pendant pre-wires here, ceiling light pre-wires, and we have taken the countertop length divided by 3, and this is where we space those pendants. We divide evenly by 3. So in the wet bar area, we've got switches on the wall for the 2 ceiling light pre-wires above the wet bar where I'm standing. Also, you requested 4-inch minis on the back wall. We've got 3 4-inch minis, and that's switched over there from that wall as well. Power outlets above countertop height. On the wet bar, we've got a sink. Sink centered. We also have a mini fridge here. Power's down low for the mini. Back into the unfinished area, you have requested a dedicated outlet down low, and that is located here, your dedicated outlet. There's a standard service outlet. There's also a switch here for the ceiling lights. This is the water area. This is where the main water service comes into the house from the street. This is what we fondly refer to as the water tree. We've got our main shutoff, pressure reducing valve, main shutoff, so we can isolate that. This is the sprinkler or irrigation tee going outside. That's for the landscaping irrigation. There's a drain valve on there as well. So this is our main water inlet, our grounding bond. We've got, this is the storm system clean out going to the street. We have sump pit location with a pile of concrete on it. This is the ejection pipe going to the outside. We do install a sump pump in that pit. This is the power area for that pump. This is a vapor pipe. Inside your house, inside the basement, we have a complete interior drain system, and that runs around the complete perimeter of the foundation inside. We have 2 sump locations, one high and one low on grade from the outside in the back. This is a vapor pipe that we attach to the top of that drain pipe underground. And this is to help escape or evacuate any underground moisture, vapors, anything that's coming up through the ground. This just naturally feeds up. This goes all the way up through the roof. So that's our vapor vent pipe, which is on top of the drain system. This area, this is the requested low volt panel from iWire. This is your requested location. We do have a 20 amp circuit running to that, power circuit running to that panel. Move out of the wet bar and storage area. Main rec room area. We've got a light switch here, and that's our traveler going into the bedroom area. But you've got, looks like you've got low volt stuff here, which we'll talk about those. We've got service outlets down low all around the room. You've also requested a power outlet at 66 inches. And then you've also requested an outlet 17 feet back on that same line. And that is centered, and that outlet is right here. Next to the speaker, that's a smoke detector requirement, recessed cans. Outside, you also, which I mentioned, we have the hot tub pre-wire on the corner, and then we've got a light switch, and we got the switched outlet, which is underneath the deck, which we looked at initially. So outside the door, we've got a light on the wall, plus the waterproof outlet is switched. As we move into the back bedroom area, coat closet, rod and shelf in this coat closet. Moving around in the bathroom. As you walk into the bathroom, there are 2 switches. One is for the light over the lab. So we have a lab, a stool, and a shower. And so light also turns on the, the switch also turns on the light above the shower as you come in. Service outlet next to the vanity. Moving into bedroom, I believe it's 8. Goodness, you can turn lights off behind yourself, turn lights on ahead of yourself. We've got we've got recessed cans. We've got 6 recessed cans in this bedroom. 4 on this side of the beam and 2 on this side of the beam. We also have an outlet at 72 inches, and that is on the back of the unfinished area with low volt pre-wire. You've requested on the NSO to have this doorway removed and opened up. You can see we've got it totally open. One switch inside of the room, and that's for the 2 ceiling cans. In that closet or finished storage area, and we've got service outlet down low. we'll move around to the back side of the mechanical room. This is the back side of the interior load center. Turn off lights behind ourselves. Coming down the next hallway as we enter the mechanical room. Switch to turn lights on ahead of yourself. Main sewers drop. We've got power outlet on this wall. This is the interior load center. So this is where all your 110 breakers will go. There might be one or two 220s in here as well. I think your car charger might be in the outside panel. These are mainly for all of the outlets throughout the house. As we look at, this is the main furnace, an air handler, which I mentioned will operate the, operates for the basement and the main floor. See, we've got a humidifier, an ice maker shut off. We've got the water heater, locate gas for water heater, main water lines coming into the water heater area. And then this is the anti-scald device which goes to the master bathtub. This will be explained to you in greater detail at the new homeowner orientation. I had mentioned that up in the laundry room we've got a pipe coming down from the drain to drain, and this is the drain coming all the way from the laundry room down to the floor drain. This is called a Studer vent. The other two pipes are from the air conditioning, from the our condensate lines from the upper furnace. That pretty much covers the mechanical room. We do have a pipe sticking through the floor. This is the photovoltaic pre-wire. Not really a pre-wire, it's a conduit for photovoltaic. If you would ever choose to install solar panels on your roof, this pipe goes all the way up into the attic, and then your solar company can just fish right through this to get the wiring up to those solar panels. So this is the full photovoltaic conduit. That's pretty much it in the basement. We're going to pause here, and then we're going to pick up with the low volt. I'm going to walk through every room with you with the low volt and make sure that we have everything in place according to your mini map. Okay, I'm back, and I have your low volt mini diagrams with me. We're going to walk briefly inside and outside the home and look at all the low volt pre-wires, make sure everything is in. I'm standing in the single stall garage again, and on the back wall you've requested a CP, which CP stands for a phone and data cable satellite port, and it's a HD pre-wire at 72 inches right there. Then we're going to move outside here because there's a couple things on the front of the home which I'm going to point out. One is on the outside corner of the single garage. You've requested 2 camera pre-wires. This is one on the front face, and one around the corner is the other camera pre-wire. Then we'll move around to the single stall garage. We've got another camera pre-wire on the other corner. This is one camera pre-wire here on the face, and around the corner is the second camera pre-wire. Inside of the 2-stall garage, we have got 2 speaker pre-wires in the ceiling, 1 and 2. And on this back wall, we've got another CP and HD pre-wire at 72 inches. That's this one right here. Now this is not labeled, but I'm not sure what that single yellow wire is. It looks like it might be for garage wire, because the yellow wire is going next to the garage door on the outside, but it's not labeled on your drawing what that is. Okay, inside the owner's entry, bear with me to get my bearings. We've got nothing in the owner's entry as far as low volt, nothing in the powder room. We're going to move right into the grand room. So in the grand room, at the windows, we've got shade pre-wire on both small windows on either side of the fireplace. Shade pre-wires. above the fireplace, we have tube conduit going down to the main panel, and we also have the LCR and HD pre-wire at 75 inches. So we have the conduit and the LCR. We have 2 speaker pre-wires up high. These are 550Ts, speaker pre-wires. Also, failed to mention, next to the left of the fireplace, we have a CP connection, which CP again stands for phone data and cable satellite. Up high, the high windows, or really all 6 windows, you can see the shade pre-wires. These are these white coils right here. Those are the shade pre-wires on all 6. This states IWSMA, and while I go through these abbreviations, bear with me here. It really doesn't state what this panel is. So I can't tell you what it is, I just know that it's here per your request. In the dining kitchen area, we've got next to the island, got 2 speaker pre-wire locations. And we have a T1. There's a phone and data port above the kitchen countertop. It takes care of the kitchen and dining room. Oh, I take that back. We've got to go out on the back deck, which we saw where they funked up that piece of siding. We got a CP out here, phone data cable port on the outside wall at 66 inches. And like I mentioned, we'll be replacing this piece of siding. Out on the patio as well, or deck, we've got speaker pre-wires, 2 speakers, 1 on each end. Those are the D81s. That's it out here. I will walk back toward the owner's entry at the rear. So nothing in the foyer. We have in the ceiling, right inside here is a wireless access point, BP, and wireless access point. Study, we have a CP location on the correct wall. CP standing for phone data and cable. Nothing in the guest bathroom, but in the guest bedroom. Again, we got an HD pre-wire and CP. And that was at 66, that's right here. That's it for the guest. We'll go upstairs. Okay, we'll go to the secondary bedrooms first. So in bedroom 4, we had shown you we've got a CP at 66 location on the bedroom wall adjoining the bathroom. Coming through to bedroom 3, CP 66 at 66 inches. Bedroom 2. CP at 66 inches. Move toward the master. Also in the loft area, up high, another wireless access point. We'll check the master bathroom first. Got a CP pre-wire right here on next to each lab. Got a CP pre-wire. Nothing in the closets. We do have speakers in the ceiling. D81s. And we move into the master bedroom. And we have shade pre-wires on all windows. On both sides of the door as well. We have speakers up in the coffer. We have an SW, which is a subwoofer pre-wire, and that is located below here. It's interesting. Shades, speakers, subwoofer over in the master sitting area. Got a CP 66, HD pre-wire and CP at 75, excuse me. Then out on the deck, we've got 2 speaker pre-wires and the HD pre-wire and CP at 66 inches. That's it for the upstairs. We'll move to the basement next. So in the unfinished area in the basement behind the wet bar is your, what they call a MSWP rack located per your request here. And I mentioned earlier, power is to that. Nothing out in the wet bar area. In the rec room, beyond the soffit, we've got speaker pre-wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speaker pre-wires. These are additional box locations. It says IWS-MA, whatever that stands for. I'm not sure. We've got a CP-T that is on this wall over here, plus conduit down low, plus conduit up to here at 66, and conduit to the upstairs. Excuse me, conduit to the panel. So 6 speakers, CPTT, and the IWS-MAs to each. There is a wireless access point, which is located right here, the WAP base, inside the walkway to the bedrooms. And in bedroom number 8, we have an HD pre-wire at 75 and 2 speaker locations this side of the beam. Then we got some camera location outside that we're going to take a look at. On the back patio, we've got a camera location high in the corner. And then we have, bear with me while I get my bearings. Let me check there quick. I should have a camera in this location. Oh, I have it down low. This might not be a camera. Yeah, it is. As low as possible is what the Mini says. So this is the other camera location, as low as possible. So it is correct. Okay, and that takes care of the low volt. Nothing else in the basement area. So that wraps up everything. As I mentioned, I've got a few things to do as I finish up inspections, and I'll be taking care of those today and tomorrow, and then moving to insulation. But please get a hold of Kyle or sales. If Kyle's not available, if you have anything you'd like to speak about or look at or adjust. Thanks for your time, Shannon. We're going to head back up, and I'm going to recap that paperwork that I have. Okay, here we are. We're going to wrap up. As I started this off, you know, we're going to talk. Believe we talked about everything here. We looked at the grading and drainage, where the gutters and downspouts come out, the elevation and the window grids, the Colorado rustic, the electrical locations throughout your house. We just finished up the low volt, plumbing, mechanical, change orders. We can't change anything from here forward. Everything is ordered and scheduled. And then projected schedule. We haven't talked about this. Also notes here, I wrote down that I still am, and I'll be completing this before installation, and that's the barn door pre-frames. You know, our projected schedule, right now we're looking at, I think the house is trending end of September, 1st of October latest. But that Kyle will be updating you weekly moving forward as I get to drywall. Once I get cabinets set in the house, we know that nothing's back ordered, which are a long lead item. We know that we're not missing anything or nothing's back ordered. Then we can pretty much narrow that window for closing pretty tightly. And I'll be in cabinets in a couple of weeks. So before the end of July, we'll be able to narrow that closing window, Shannon. I appreciate you taking the time to view the video. And like I said, anything you need to adjust, just get a hold of sales. Thanks.